Alright, so it's bright and early. By bright and early, I mean by it's 12 o'clock. And I'm ready. I already started zip tying these things. This is a twisty tie, but yeah, as soon as I'm ready. The hell is that? Oh, yeah. As soon as I'm ready to actually zip tie this, I'll zip tie it. Right now it's just twisty tie. I got all my Varex wires run up in there. Varex wires are these blue and black wires. And then that's the Varex box right there. Zip tied to that this pole right here. And like I said, it uses a cigarette lighter, male. So this is it. And then I bought this female cigarette lighter thing. And I hardwired it to the car. And connected them and taped them together so it'll never come loose. Tucked that up there, zip tied everything nice and neat over there. So that's what that looks like in there. Let me call it. My positive connection for my Bluetooth to my backup camera disconnected. So I figured I'll show you guys how to reconnect that. And in turn, you guys will know how to wire it. So this is my backup camera wire. I have to ground this maybe about here, maybe. This is from my Varex system. Ground that there. And this connect this to the ground of my green switch, which you see there, so it can light up and actually do what the switch is supposed to do. So yeah, I'm gonna pull this radio back out, get behind there, and I don't know if I said it in the last video, but I finished that. Oh yeah, and these are my remote controls for my Varex system. A for open, B for close. I believe you have to hold it. I think if I was to like tap it, it would like open up just a little bit. But yeah, I'll hold it all the way. It's like 2 seconds. And then 1, 2, 1, 2. It's simple. And they give you 2. So put that right back there. I haven't tested out this aux thing yet, but I'm gonna test it out soon with my radio. Yeah, it's looking a lot cleaner in here, as you can see. If you remember what it looked like last time, it looked like a crazy mess. So, also hooked up my hood latch, because that was broken in the accident. So now it works really fine. And yeah, I'm gonna get back to that, pull out the radio, connect this next. Okay, so I pulled the radio out now, and let's see if I can get behind there. And I pulled out this whole Bluetooth system. So as you can see, this is the Bluetooth system itself. It consists of, one housing, a wire, and the wire to the end of this connects to an RCA cable to the back of this radio. Let me see if I can get it. See? Right there. And then the other side of this is a long wire. A long wire that connects straight to... It has a power and ground. If you see where that red tape is right there, I'm shaking. And then you see the black wire is connected to that green tape wire with the ring screwed into the ground. So that right there disconnected. Yeah, so I'm going to get my grab tool, feed it together, and yeah. And that's basically how to wire up your camera Bluetooth wise. The other wired version, you could run it straight through those, up and through the dash from the back all the way. But for now, right now I'm just gonna play with them, play with the Bluetooth. It's pretty simple, guys. You have to play around with the RCA cables because there's about 3 of them back there. Only one of them shows when you put it in reverse, so I recommend having uh, the radio like this and put it in reverse. If it's not working, take it out and try the next one, try the next one. So that's what I recommend. Yeah, I'm gonna get this, my handy dandy grabbing tool. I'm going to feed this up in there and connect my powers together. Okay. And just to give you a glimpse on how bipolar the New York weather is, it is basically the last week in October, or yeah, the week before last week in October, and it's like 80 degrees. Like, holy crap. It's hot as hell. Sweating in my own car. Alright, so I crimped those together. Got my handy dandy grabbing tool and pulled that wire up from the bottom. Crimped that one together and push them back down, basically. So I'll take the rest of these wires and push them back down, tuck them down neat. Actually, I'm not even gonna push them back down. I'm gonna zip tie these. And that's me. Hey. Okay, so stuck. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna twisty tie these together and yeah, make it look neat. And probably like zip tie it to that strand of wire that's hanging right there. Make it look nice and neat, and I'll show you guys when I'm finished. Okay, so got those nice and tucked in there, twisty tied to that tape, and yeah. If you're wondering why I twisty tie, or twist tie, whatever you want to call it, I think it's easier, just in case if I need to get back in there. You know, why go through that trouble again, cutting the zip tie. You know what I mean? So. Okay, nice and put back. Snap that side in. Good. So yeah, nice and put back neatly. All my vents work. Make sure you play around with your vents to make sure that they work. And my last video, I got a question on which radio I bought. Since mine has the Rutherford Fosgate system, which are, you know, the tweeters, the 12-inch amp in the back, and like, you know, a couple more features or whatever. I had to get the more expensive one because the cheaper ones, and don't go cheap, guys. Please don't go cheap. The more cheaper ones, which I bought the first time, you wouldn't really see it because I didn't really record that. Yeah, everything worked. The screen touched everything. You know what I mean? The lights came on, and everything. But what do you call it? When it was time to play the music didn't play because in the back of the ones without the Rutherford Fosgate support only plugs in one connector, right? Our cars that got, you know, Rutherford Fosgate system has 2 connectors. So when I got this one, I connected both of them inside the back. This one was about $400 something. And it will be in the description. Like, make sure you read it, like, before you purchase it. If you want to purchase one of these, make sure you read the description box. Does it support it? Does it not? You know what I mean? So that's my only major concern. And yeah, my music plays fine now. Actually sounds just like the stock system. Maybe a tiny bit better. I mean, in terms of touchscreen, yeah, that's a lot better. But yeah. When you buy the more expensive one, it also comes with perks like SD card reader with map support and everything, and the GPS works pretty fine. I'm gonna peel this plastic off as soon as I start driving my car. But yeah, it's basically just like the cheaper one, but it supports our cars. Okay, so it's hot as hell in here. Okay, so that's another wire connected. I'm going to use my multimeter, put the battery in, see which fuse gives me power when the key is on. So I'm gonna connect that. And my ground wire, which is right here, yeah, right here. Get my drill and drill that right in, right there, or somewhere in this metal piece, so it's not, you know, blocking anything. That's what I'm going to do next. Get out of this hot black car. Wearing all black. Jeez. So, what else? What else? I put my cup holder back in. And this thing works perfect. If I didn't say that before, it only works when you turn the car on though. Like the engine has to be running. Which is also a plus. You want to kill your battery while, you know, car's not charging. So, yeah, I gotta clean up the rest of this car. Then I'll move on to the outsides. Okay, YouTube. Yeah, so I have a little bit of problems running this. So, I gotta do it the long way. And which is maybe actually the more better way. Yeah, before I had all the powers, switching to one. But obviously that's not smart, because I kept blowing my 15 amp fuses and shit. And all these things should be run off 15 amps. I don't want to do any 20 amp and then fry the system. So, this is my dilemma now. I need to power this. I need to power this, which is my Verax backup camera and this switch, which has a green light on it, which is pretty cool. And I need to power my electronic boost controller, right? And no other fuses in there. What the car is off right now, and I'm reading with my multimeter 12 volts out of all of them right now. So they're all powered. And then I plugged in one of them, and then my boost controller was on just to test, see if my multimeter was full of shit. But yeah, it was on, and obviously you don't want to walk away from the car with your stuff running. So I'm going to take that 20 amp fuse right there. I'm going to run it to a switch. And to the switch, I'm going to have like one of these switches. Probably gonna put it right here so I don't get confused. To this switch, I'm going to run. Yeah, it should be enough, hopefully. From that switch, I'm going to run everything that's running on this power and my electronic boost controller. Hopefully, I shouldn't get any glitches in the system or whatever. Or if anything, I will disconnect what my gauges are connected to, because they don't pull a lot of current, and put my electronic boost controller on that one alone, which it sounds like a good plan. I should do that like right now. Yeah, so that would do. I'll switch those so I only have to worry about something else, you know, not running, because I would rather have electronic boost control running my turbo so I don't overboost anything, you know, potentially harm my engine. So that sounds like a way better plan. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And then these two wires, these are my gauges. I'm gonna run them separately. Run them straight to the switch I'm gonna wire. So it should be fine. I wonder if I need to put more than one switch though. Let's just hope I don't need to put more than one switch. All I know is that electronic boost controller needs its own power source, because while it was running, first time I started it up, I blew the switch, I blew the fuse. These weren't powering on, but that was powering on. Changed the fuse, and after that, this thing was glitching. Like I wasn't able to press any buttons or anything. The screen was reading, but I wasn't able to use it. After that, I put it on its own circuit and everything was working fine and everything. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, run it from its own circuit. Probably repeat myself too much. Wiring shit, it's definitely not the simplest. After this, I'm going to, I don't know. After doing all this wiring shit, I should be certified after this bullshit. But yeah, I'm gonna get this done. Another switch added here. Switches galore in my car now. Alright guys. My bad for rambling on and shit, but this time it's different, alright? So now, this is my backup camera and my Varex, alright? All to one, right? And that big 30 amp fuse right there, tested it. It's only on when the car is switched on. So that's perfect. So I put these two together, put this, put a red wire onto them and crimped them. I'm going to run it to the back of that fuse and plug it in. And that should solve that problem. Yeah, so I have this wired out. Only thing, and this wired up. Only thing I need to do is wire up these now. Which I believe all can wire up to the same thing. Let's see. I'm gonna add the gauges onto this 30 amp switch. And then, I don't want to blow nothing. I really don't want to blow anything. Let me see how strong it is. How strong. I'm gonna get a voltage reading on how much curtain's being pulled, and I'm gonna actually use the windshield wipers, flap them back and forth, and read how much voltage is being pulled, and then I'll see if I can add the gauges onto it. Okay, so I solved that problem. Yeah, everything went into that 30 amp fuse. Varex. And I actually wired the Varex to a separate fuse of its own. See? I don't care if that backup camera shit get fried. I don't give a fuck. I could care less. To the Bluetooth module, I can care less. Next time I'm just gonna hardwire the whole thing so I don't have to wire anything up here. There's not enough space up here, guys. Not enough space for you to wire everything you want. Unless you want to wire everything to a switch. So yeah, I turned everything on, ran everything at once, and windshield wiper speed still want the same speed, so that's that. So yeah, I'm gonna tuck these up here. Now I gotta find space on my gauges. I don't know if I'll be able to run gauges with the same 30 amp fuse. I don't want to blow anything. I really don't want to blow anything. I don't really know if it will blow, but the only way to test is if you start the car. Start the engine and everything. So, yeah. These I'm going to wire straight to this red and black wire. They're using this. I found my multimeter. I found the power was in this red and black wire, not the red and white wire, red and black wire. So I'm going to splice into that and put these two running up there. Yeah, that'll be one clean electrical job done. After this, I should get my certificate. So. So I'm gonna do that and then clean up this. Then I'm gonna work on mounting this straight to my interior pieces. Okay, so here's something funny. Yeah, so I connected these to these, and they didn't come on. Alright, so I thought to myself, and I said, wait. They're powered by a switch. So I turned the switch on and these came on. So that's a no-no. Just gonna put those back up there. And like I said, we're going to go through a switch. This switch is gonna go, this is gonna plug into one of these switches, and then the power is going to power the gauges from one of these fuses that's on all the time. So, yeah. Well, at least I did something right. My 30 amp fuse is for the windshield wipers are. That's one thing out of the way, and then this was solved. So it's just the rest of this now. It's the rest of this. So I'm gonna get another switch. Wire both these powers to one of these fuses over there, and then just like this blue cord as like the auxiliary, these are going to run straight to, you know, pretend the switch is here. Same thing right there, basically. Or maybe I can... No. This is the NOS button. I'm not fucking with the NOS button. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna get this unscrewed and pop out another one and hot glue the next one into that one. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm starting up this whole switch process, so got my switch. I'm gonna put it right there, and I already made my power wires, so this one will connect straight to right there. That's weird. Right there. Yeah, the power's on the bottom, the auxiliary is at the top, and then the grounds are at the bottom, right there. And like when the switch is in like that, and I put this switch in, kind of like that, kind of like that. I'm just gonna take this ground wire and solder them both together, and then connect it back to a ground wire that I snipped for my bolt. So that's what I'm gonna do. Right now I gotta connect this one the same way I connected that one. And like I said, I got my powers connected all the way to a 20 amp fuse tap. I'm gonna go to AutoZone and get 20 amp fuses, and I'm going to hook it up to the sunroof, because apparently that fuse has power all the time. So straight up there, so that's that. And I'm gonna go back outside and clear up my passenger side seat because it looks like a mess.